President Trump addressed the nation, trying to calm fears, naming Vice President Pence as the point person for the battle to contain the virus. But shortly after, we got that update that the first case of unknown origin was confirmed in the U.S. Terry Moran is live at the White House this morning. Terry, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. At this time, with the U.S. facing a looming threat from this novel coronavirus, public health experts are saying that mixed messages and misinformation can be just as dangerous as the virus itself. But as President Trump took center stage in the defense of the country against it, it seems that he was not on the same page as some of his own experts. Overnight, President Trump, alongside his top health advisors, sought to calm a nervous nation, downplaying the danger of the new coronavirus.
We're very, very ready for this, for anything.
And naming a new point person to lead the administration's response.
I'm going to be putting our Vice President, Mike Pence, in charge. He's got a certain talent for this.
The president's own health officials warn it's just a matter of time before the disease spreads.
We do expect more cases.
But an optimistic Trump seemingly contradicting them.
Well, I don't think it's inevitable.
Saying the administration's actions so far, including barring non-U.S. citizens from entering the United States from China, have helped minimize exposure here in America. But as his news conference was happening, signs the disease could already be spreading within the U.S. The CDC confirming that new infection in California shortly after the president finished his address.
So far, if you look at what we have with the 15 people, and they're recovering. One is pretty sick, but hopefully will recover. But the others are in great shape.
The president, who often takes personal credit when markets soar, is also seeking to reassure Americans about a diving Dow.
Well, I really think the stock market is something I know a lot about, but I think the stock market will recover. The economy is very strong.
He attributed some of the losses, without offering any evidence, to political jitters over Democratic candidates.
I think the financial markets are very upset when they look at the Democrat candidates standing on that stage making fools out of themselves.
This is going to be a massive effort. Funding the response to the novel coronavirus has already turned into another political flashpoint. President Trump has asked for $2.5 billion for the federal government. The Democrats in Congress say that's not enough given the scale of the problem. The president says he will spend whatever he gets. Michael?
All right, Terry, thank you so much. We're going to continue our conversation about the coronavirus, bringing in Dr. Jennifer Ashton. And Doc, you saw the president's press conference. What's your reaction?
You know, I think there was maybe a little disconnect between the words that were spoken and the actions. The actions of this committee, the best doctors in the country standing next to the president, speak, I think, very clearly that this is now being taken very seriously. But again, we have to remember we're 2 months into this, basically. And
we reported earlier that CDC said we could have our first case of community spread. And if that is the case, can you explain what that really means?
Yeah, so we look at primary, secondary, tertiary spread. One of the criteria, and again, it's just language for the World Health Organization to designate this as a pandemic, is they need to see not just outbreaks in many different countries, but evidence of sustained spread throughout the community. And that's not just one isolated case here and there, but when you hear about someone who doesn't have a direct tie to China, although now it's all over the world, that starts to get concerning.
Yeah, and we put out the word on social media. We want to hear some of our viewers' questions. And the first viewer question is pretty simply put: what should we do to prepare?
Well, you know, when the CDC recommended that people start to get their ducks in a row, so to speak, I think they should look at this as if you were getting a weather warning, a storm coming. What would you do? You might go to the grocery store, get some supplies, so if you needed to stay home for a while, that would be fine. I think it's important to contact schools, ask what their plan is, contact your workplace, ask if it's possible to work from home or what their provisions are. If you have medications that you need to take, make sure that you're not going to be running out in the next couple of days in case social distancing measures are put into place, and we don't know. That's a possible, question mark in the future. And if you're pregnant, if you have any major medical conditions, you want to obviously be in touch with your doctor, your midwife, your medical provider, just so that you know.
And we have one more question for you from another viewer. My husband and daughter are going to Germany in a few weeks. Should he be concerned or stay home? He is having nightmares. Everyone's concerned about getting on a plane. What do you suggest?
Listen, Michael, no one has a crystal ball here, but it's risk benefit. I would say that you need to know where you're going, when you're going. We don't know what this is going to look like in 2 weeks or 2 months. If someone's clearly having nightmares, cares about a trip, I think it's probably a good idea. But we do expect to see some kind of travel screening, at least from people coming from places where coronavirus is really exploding.
Well, we can only hope it looks better than it looks right now,
I
Doctor,
hope so.
in a few weeks.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.